70% of new million-dollar apps last year were built with AI assistance by non-technical founders. Seriously, Stripe's own data shows the fastest growing SaaS category is solo non-technical founders. So if you could just describe your idea out loud, if you can vibe it, today AI will compile it. It'll host it, and it'll even charge customers while you sleep. Today, we're going to review 5 app blueprints to make easy money that require no code, no dev team, no budget. So let's build.
First up, we've got the SaaS micro tool. This is SaaS that prints monthly subscriptions like clockwork. Think simple, like super focused. Smaller niches than you could ever do before. Maybe a cold email subject line greater, like something so random and specific that instantly tells you your email will land, or like a rental lease clause checker that flags tricky legal language. Super focused. Now you can literally, with these really specific things, do this in one prompt. You can just type this into something like Lovable. So many new vibe coding platforms out there. Build a page where users paste text, get a score, pay $9 a month. You can go really low subscriptions because it's so hyper niche to unlock unlimited scans. So Lovable spits out the UI. Stripe checkout, you can connect these to payment platforms and build a whole user dashboard. Export the repo to GitHub, hit deploy, and you're live. You could charge $29 a month, whatever. 10 paying users easily will cover your fees, right? And this can be so hyper focused. And the magic here is you're selling the ability to build these things for really specific target markets.
Next is niche marketplaces. Niche app marketplaces is a hack to print money. This is where you become the landlord of a specific online community. Pick like a really micro niche, say beekeeping equipment rentals. And in Software, which is a no-code platform, connected with an Airtable of hives, extractors, toggle accept payments and user accounts. And this is the prompt you can steal right now from me to start making money. Use this prompt. Make marketplaces where lenders list gear, borrowers book it, and I keep 8% of every transaction. Software handles the search, the calendar, and the escrow style payments. One viral Reddit post in like our beekeeping, and boom, you've got a network effect. Money buzzes while you stay hands off.
You've got the third one, internal business tools. Think the really boring, dry stuff. But there are so many industries out there that are huge and have these old, boring, really hard to use SaaS software that's just the industry standard, right? Now with AI, it makes it so much easier to build for these markets, listen to what your customers need, and completely outbuild the incumbents, right? So think like a boring dashboard that companies pay tons of money for, like roofing companies losing track of crews without real-time job photos. It's a huge headache for them. Zoho Creator is a new, all the vibe coding platforms are new. This is Zoho's getting into it as well. You could drag a simple form, a photo upload, GPS stamp, plus your job ID. The prompt you could use, something like generate an app where foremen check in photos, the office sees a map, and overdue jobs glow red, or really get into the industry, talk to a few folks, find out what the prompt is based on the problems that they're having. Roofers, they save on rework. You sell seats at $49 a month per seat, land 10 roofers, and that's $5,000 predictable MRR, more stable than ad revenue. And frankly, nobody cares what language it's written in. AI can write this in anything.
That's right, Nick. AI can write it. Fourth, we've got content layer with ads. The SEO flywheel, you monetize with display ads. This is all about leveraging search engines to bring traffic to you consistently. Use rocket.new and prompt create a city guide where every restaurant page shows the hours, the menu scanned, and 1 question rating. Worth the hype? Rocket Auto crawls Google Maps data, generates pages, and bakes in AdSense codes. Publish 500 city pages, each ranking for best wings in Boise or whatever micro keywords. CPMs on local food content average $12. 100,000 page views a month equals roughly 1,200 in passive ad change while you sleep. Now, this is all examples used with Lovable or Software. Before we get to the last one, I just want to ask you if you could please like and subscribe. We're a new channel, and all that support we greatly appreciate. Back to you, Nick, for the last one.
All right, now we're on our fifth one, conversational AI bots. I mean, we've had AI bots for years, but obviously now with LLMs, they can be so much better, so much smarter, and actually do the promises, actually live up to the promises that AI bots have been making for years, right? And the reason, while this kind of seems a little dated and so boring, the reason it's so interesting is because they can now start doing the job that current companies are hiring people to do, and do them better and do them faster. And these are the boring, repetitive tasks, right? And the way you want to charge, and this is the interesting part, is usage, based on usage, either on the amount of time that you're using them, whether the job is done, right? This is a lot like building a digital employee. I mean, it really is. It sounds like science fiction, but this is what we're starting to see now. And of course, just like before, you could pick these really boring industries. You build this AI agent, you contact them, you say, hey, this is something that's going to be 100th, 1,000th the cost of your current employees, and is going to scale up as much as you need.
The opportunities out there for solo non-technical founders are really good today, Nick.
They're the best they've ever been.
And not only do I see non-technical founders going in, building these apps like we just talked about, they can sell them, and they don't necessarily need to be doing like an IPO. They can sell them on smaller marketplaces for smaller amounts. But if you do that with bootstrapping and so on, it's a pretty good payday.
It's a lot of work, but it's so much faster to learn how to do it, learn what you need to do, and of course, to actually code them, right? AI can just be used everywhere across the board for company building.
So we've had, it's interesting because we have tools now like Lovable and Softer, and a lot of these tools that do a lot of the coding for non-technical founders. In the past, we didn't have that before AI. There was like, I remember Bubbles. Was it Bubble? I want to say was one that
Bubble, yeah,
was
no
a very
code.
popular prototyping tool, you could say.
Yeah, yeah.
And that's where they would end. Basically, you could get a prototype of an MVP and test out your idea, maybe give a presentation with it, but it was far from being able to build and deploy it, is my understanding.
Yeah, I mean,
Now,
they call them no code, but it was like, it was pretty hard to use. You had to know what you're doing. You had to know databases. You had to know SQL. Kind of the promise that people would make, or that people would hear, is like, great, I can build that app finally, but it's still a lot of work, right?
yeah. So I'm curious, I have a question for you. You are a Y Combinator alumni. You're connected with a lot of startups in Silicon Valley. How many of the startups now are using no-code tools like Lovable or Softer to get their app to maybe the first kind of beta status or MVP status? Or how is these tools being used in the startups today?
So probably 100%. Like maybe not 100, maybe it's 90, right? And they're not calling them no code. It's almost like yeah, vibe coding. Really what I mean is they're using AI in some form to write their code, right? I'd be just kind of surprised if there are any new young companies that are not coding with AI in some way. And I don't necessarily mean like they write one prompt and they're like, great, it's done, right? Like GitHub Copilot, right? Like you're still doing the majority of the work, but AI is there to support, right?
That's a code assist, really, AI
Code assist.
Copilot. That's code assist. And then there's also code review, which is another kind of AI use case, which is reviewing the errors in the code and points out maybe issues. So, you know, but when we say Lovable is its own. It really is AI code. Like it does everything, almost
It does.
everything.
It is. So if you are really building a company and really building a product, maybe you can start on Lovable. But by the time you're actually like shipping code and deploying stuff, if you're going to continue with AI tools, you're moving over to something like Claude Code, right? You're using GitHub Copilot. Once your code base gets large enough, AI really, really struggles, and you really need to get into the thick of it. And once once you have customers, you can't just kind of like vibe code your way out of a bug. You got to figure it out, right? And so today, it's so good and so fast to build either really simple software or prototypes, right? And you'll see that, you go onto Lovable and you'll build something out and you'll think you're 90% of the way there, 100%. And then you start using it and it's not quite it, but it's really valuable, right? Um, but the thought or the dream of, well, all you need to do is just like come up with the right prompt and then you're just making bank. It's like, it's not that building companies are hard. Not only because building companies are hard, but now everyone else has these tools too, right? And
A
so
lot of competition.
you need to build something that's defensible or you need to move really, 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 really fast, right? And so this is a great way for technical and non-technical people to get started, right? But it's not going to be ever a get rich quick scheme. If you love it, then you're going to dig in and build something great, right?
Well, there is a difference between these small consumer apps that you can build, like some of the ones we outlined, and then enterprise applications where,
Yeah.
enterprise applications have to meet all types of compliance requirements with SOX 2 and so on, where a lot of these consumers or iPhone apps or stuff you can build in marketplaces, you can do with Lovable and you can do as a non-technical founder. And there's a lot of opportunity in that space for some kind of get rich quick stuff. Not necessarily like, start a company, enterprise software, and IPO it and sell for become a unicorn. To do that, you're going to need technical support. You're going to need coders. You're going to need to scale the company. You're going to need fundraise. But there's still a lot of really good companies that are built off of Lovable. I've got a couple examples for you here, Nick.
Oh, really? Actual companies that have used Lovable. Yeah. Tell me.
Oh, yeah. In fact, I'm going to share my screen and we're going to look at it. Okay. Dummy Forms.
Interesting.
Dummy Forms was built with Lovable. And there was a Lovable hackathon. This won third place in the Lovable hackathon. It was one of the top ranked products on Product Hunt shortly after the launch. And in just 8 days, it attracted 2,100 unique visitors and secured 584 signups. So there's a market validation. And its function is as a no-fuss solution for developers and non-developers to generate forms, analyze submissions, and streamline workflow logic directly addressing a common pain point. It's a form workflow thing. There's a lot of form products out there. This one's easy. This one's pretty cheap. You can see on the website here, create beautiful forms in a matter of minutes. It's the easiest way to build and share online forms. No coding required. It doesn't need to be a crazy idea that no one's done before. You can do dummy forms and be successful with a lot of these vibe coding platforms. Look at the companies that are using it: Amazon, Codebase, Google. It's pretty impressive. So it's a drag and drop. So it's like a drag and drop builder. It's got AI form generation, smart analytics. Let's look at their pricing. Or maybe we look at the benefits and then we look at the pricing. Why choose dummy forms? No coding required. Just click, drag and drop. Beautiful responsive forms, real-time analytics. And from a pricing standpoint, there's a free tier. So it's a freemium, which is really valuable from a sales and marketing product distribution, just to have a freemium model. And then there is a craft model, they call it, which is $12 a user a month, which has basically unlimited forms and files and so on. So pretty easy example. Here's another one I got for you,
I
Nick.
think that's a great example. Like this is something where what you need to do is so contained, it's so simple. There are incumbents out there, right? And it's kind of annoying how much you have to pay per month to some of these for just a freaking form, right? And so I love seeing this. Just take the things that shouldn't cost so much, build a fresh new version of them. I love this.
Here's the thing with vibe coding. You can copy what's already worked and be successful. In
Yeah,
fact,
and actually it's better because the UI, the expectations for both the user and the AI building it, they know how to build it.
indeed so. Here's another one. Boom Habits helps you stay disciplined. So Boom Habits is a simple habit tracker that reached 300 users in 3 to 4 days and was featured in Product of the Week in a major directory. Pretty straightforward, right? It's just basically a habit tracking application. You've got your evening habits here. You've got an overview. You've got kind of a dashboard of the habits, including a heat map. It's actually a pretty good looking application they built out of Lovable. Um, and super simple, right? Build streaks, track progress, analyze data, daily reminders. Like it doesn't take, you don't have to be crazy innovative. This stuff works. It works pretty well. And people are making great money off of it. People are making great money off of all these easy vibe coding tools. So
I really think the way to view vibe coding is that building a company is hard. There's a lot you have to do, but it makes one small piece of many other things much, much quicker. So just because you vibe coded the very first thing and that's working, there's a lot more work that goes into it, but it's so much faster to experiment, right? To build something really quickly and to put it out there, including landing pages and see if this is getting traffic, right? So fast to do.
And I'm going to show one more research for our users here, one more tool. This is not an example of an app that was built on Lovable. This is a resource along with Lovable or software that you could use. And this research is called ideabrowser.com.
Oh, you were telling me about this. I love this.
Yeah, Idea Browser is a great resource where you can go and you can see business ideas like the ones we discussed today, right? We talked about five different ideas that you can make with no-code platforms to make money. This is basically a database of all that. And then what's really unique or very valuable, I should say, about ideabrowser.com is that it'll not only describe the idea and why it's a valuable idea and provide some metrics behind it, it will build the prompts for you. It'll build the
Interesting.
prompts for you.
You say prompts, not prompt, right? Meaning the assuming that you're going to have to continue prompting the tool to continue to build.
No, basically what it will do. So it gives an example. I'm not logged in, so I don't know what it will say, but automated approval software that cuts insurance wait time for PT clinics. So here's an idea, and it's got potentially 5 million ARR. That means it's a market cut. And then what it will do is say this idea, right? Here's how you can build it, and then you click on build this idea. And then it will show you all the different applications. I'm not signed in, but it will show you all the different applications. So here's a prompt to build, here's a prompt for Lovable. Here's a prompt for the other components that you need to build it, the website, the other things. So it gives you all the tools and all the prompts you need. So it's not a non-coding tool itself. It's not a developer vibe coding tool, but it is basically outlines all the prompts you need across all the different tools in order to build this exact application. And it's vetted the idea for you. So literally you go to this website, you find an idea that interests you, you copy and paste the prompts into the tools that generate them. Some of these are more sophisticated that might require a little bit of technical knowledge or support. Some of them aren't. Some of them are basically copy paste and they're there. But what a gold mine right here of all these ideas that are vetted for you that you can get started today to make money with vibe coding.
Now, the other side of this, I'm going to be a negative Nancy here, right?
Yes.
They're posting this up there. And so if they have any level of success, then that means many other people are building this exact thing today, right? And so you're back to square one competing with them. However, I could see this being a really great tool if, let's say, you use this just to get good at building, right? Like this is a really good way to think through whether an idea is good or not, so that on your own, with your own expertise, maybe you get really good at building this, but then you put together your own idea based on, like, if you're a dentist and you know that industry, right? Or something else. This is really cool. I think it's fun. Maybe there will be some companies that are built out of some of these ideas, but it's kind of squeezing one thing over here and making another problem over here because now everyone knows this idea.
Yeah, perhaps.
I like how they pull it together though in the market research. That's really cool.
That's right. So you could use it to get ideas and innovate off of. You could use it to take that exact idea and go and build and go for it. The more, I would say, more complex ones with bigger returns aren't going to be copy and paste. So it's not like anyone can just grab them and compete. It's going to require, maybe a couple weeks of work. But man, it helps validate your ideas. It gets you going and it shows you the tools you need. I think there's just money sitting out there for people to make. And tools like Idea Browser, Lovable, it makes it very automated for non-technical people like myself to make software products that make money pretty easily.
Yeah. Yeah. Vibe coding is going to mean that there are many, many, many more very small niche companies out there. I had this idea when we're looking at this stuff earlier is, anytime there's a big shift in tech or how companies are built where you lower the cost of something greatly, which has happened with coding itself, right? Then there are other big weird shifts that happen in these markets, right? And so maybe it's time to rethink like when you actually start writing the code. And so I had this goofy idea. I don't think this would work, but this would be a funny way to do it. What if instead, like today, to build a SaaS company, you have your idea and your expertise, you pull together a team, you build everything, you put together your landing page, you have your go-to market, try and get it out there. What if you like did none of that? And instead, you just looked at what people are Googling for. You analyze like what small niche things do you think aren't yet built? You build all these landing pages for all these Google searches, right? You make it look like it's real and ready to go. And most of these websites people don't even visit, but you get one and one person signs up and then you just vibe code it live. Like you haven't even spent money on the tokens yet, but you put up all these kind of like landing pages as ads. And as soon as someone signs up, you just build it live or have the agent build it live. I don't think that would work, but I love these, when things get
You sell
rearranged
the
kind
landing
of.
page and then build
Yeah,
it.
kind of. And it's kind of like, that's not what they're expecting. But if it's something super specific and you have the capability to build this tool for them and charge them $4 a month or something, right? If it solves one small problem for them, then you might be able to build this system that does that en masse and make a weird new type of company out of it.
Definitely can.
Perhaps.
The possibilities are out there, Nick.
Endless.
Endless. All right. Let's end on that. Hope you enjoyed this. Please like and subscribe. Grab these ideas. Go make some money, guys. Thanks,
Go
everyone.
build.